Just 12 miles from the presidential palace in Damascus, crowds chant for Bashar al-Assad's regime to fall, a statue of his father becoming the latest to topple. The dynasty's iron grip on Syria this week loosening at breakneck speed. The Syrian government is facing an onslaught from north and south. The so-called rebels, led by the Islamic group HTS, closing in on the strategic city of Homs, seizing the spoils of abandoned army outposts.
We liberated Aleppo, then Homs, then we'll go to Damascus. We promise our people in the liberated areas that we'll return them to their hometown, safe and sound, with heads held high.
This is a faction-torn country controlled in the red areas here by the Syrian army led by Bashar al-Assad. But it's the lightning advance of the rebel army led by HTS, Tahrir al-Sham, which made the first move last week in a fresh attempt to topple the Assad regime. From the north, they took the economic capital Aleppo, then the city of Hama, and reaching the city of Homs. In the south, local groups gained control of Daraa, while HTS rebels claimed to have reached As-Sanamain, just 20 kilometers south of the capital Damascus, where Assad remains for now. HTS has built a broad alliance of rebel groups, each seizing their moment to apply maximum pressure on Assad's ailing army. The group and its leader, Abu Muhammad al-Jalani, once an al-Qaeda fighter, are on the US, UN and Turkish terror lists, but have attempted to rebrand, Jalani saying he wants to transition into a state of governance and of institutions where religious and ethnic minorities can live safely. Analysts say, but Turkey denies, that the advance couldn't have happened so swiftly without the tacit support of Turkish President Erdogan. His foreign minister was in Doha today in talks about the Syrian conflict with his Iranian and Russian counterparts.
We are very much sorry for the Syrian people who became a subject of another geopolitical experiment. We are absolutely convinced of inadmissibility to use terrorists like Tahrir al-Sham to achieve geopolitical purposes, as it is being done now.
Bashar al-Assad's grip on power has been propped up by military support from Russia and Iran, but both are engaged in costly hybrid wars elsewhere, not least Ukraine and Israel. Just as the Syrian army, beset by corruption, sees its soldiers surrender, with 2,000 of them fleeing across the Iraqi border, Russian and Iranian forces have withdrawn their military commanders and personnel over the past few days. The stakes for Iran are particularly high. A loss of influence here would put a dent in its arc of proxy forces from Lebanon to Iraq to Yemen, one it's squared up against Israel. More than 500,000 lives have now been lost since pro-democracy protests in 2011 gave way to a vicious and intractable civil war. As statues topple once again and city after city falls, war-weary hopes and fears harden. The Syrian regime's decades of rule tonight is teetering on the brink.
Well, a short while ago, I spoke to Ismail Al-Abdullah from the White Helmets, which is the volunteer emergency rescue service which operates in opposition-controlled areas. I began asking him whether over the next 24 hours we're going to see history being made.
I was displaced in 2016 from my city, my home, my house. A few days ago, I went back. I saw my sister. I saw my family. Not just me, millions of people, the same thing. Now roads to Hama are busy. Camps in the north are preparing themselves and going back to their homes. And towns and villages. This is new fate.
Having had to respond to all those atrocities and bloodshed that you witnessed, how do you think that you will feel if that moment comes in the next hours and Assad falls?
It's a dream for me and a dream for many thousands of Syrians that just one day without blood, one day without killing, one day, just one day. Imagine that 12, 13 years, no day went without blood in Syria, no day without bombing, no day without killing, no day without atrocity.
Can you see a future, though, without bloodshed in Syria?
We hope that the future will be no blood, no fighting, no killing, no abducting, People can go back to their normal lives. Students can go to school without fear of bombing. Mothers can raise their children without fearing of the future, not thinking about they might lose some of their children. Those wives and sisters can hope that they can hug their brothers and sisters from prisoners or husbands or any relative that now they are missing.
Ismail Al-Abdullah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.